and welcome to our second tag video. Today I'm going to do the MILSO tag, otherwise like the military spouse tag. So for anyone who doesn't know, my husband is military, so I'm just going to be answering some questions and hopefully you guys can get to know me just a little bit better. I also wanted to say I never want to shove the fact that I'm a military wife down your throat. A lot of people do that. A lot of people think that it makes them better than other people, and I never want to give you guys that vibe. I kind of went back and forth on if I wanted to do this video or not, but right now this is our lives. The military pretty much runs our lives, so I just want to make that completely clear. And if you guys ever do feel like I'm shoving it down your throat, I really do want to apologize. That's nothing I want to do intentionally. But I really wanted you guys to be able to get to know me a little bit better, and I feel like this tag really will help answer some questions or get anyone caught up to speed. And it's something that if anyone has questions during some of my vlogs or anything like that, I can refer back to this video, or you guys can refer back to this video, and it'll help you guys kind of stay up to speed. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into some of these questions. Question 1, how did you and your spouse meet? We went to high school together, so that's how we met. We actually met through my cousin, ironically enough. I think it was my sophomore year. Yes, my sophomore year, and Joe's freshman year. And my cousin actually asked if Joe could have my number, and I told her no. I did not give him my number, and lo and behold, a couple years later we ended up getting married. So love is in mysterious ways. That's all I can say. Question 2, how old were you when you two met? Well, I think my sophomore year I was 15 and Joe was 15 as well. It was his freshman year. But we didn't actually start dating until just after our 17th? Yeah, just after our 17th birthday. How long have you been together? We'll be married 3 years in February, and we've been together 4 years, I think? Yeah, 4. Where are you and your spouse originally from? I'm originally from Northeast Wisconsin, and Joe is originally from Northern Michigan. He lived the first couple years of his life there, and then his family ended up moving down to Northeast Wisconsin, so that's how that went. How did you feel about him joining the military? I was all for it. I knew going into our relationship that that's something Joe wanted to do. In his family, it's kind of a rite of passage. Everybody goes to basic, everybody joins the military in some form. And so I kind of knew right off the bat that that was something that was going to be held in my future if we were together. And I was also looking into joining the military, some sort of branch, but I just filmed my mom tag video. I'll leave that in the cards and down below for you guys, but I ended up getting pregnant halfway through my senior year of high school, so I did not end up joining. Where did your spouse go to basic training? My husband's MOS is infantry, and everyone who's infantry goes to basic training in Fort Benning, Georgia. Has your spouse ever been deployed? No, he is not deployed. There's been multiple deployments that have come up for his rotation. One was confirmed and everything. We had his set date to leave, and very shortly before he was due to leave, they ended up giving the deployment to another unit. Ever been to his promotion ceremony? No. My husband, the big promotion ceremony is usually when you hit your E5. My husband has not hit that yet. He's an E4. So if and when he does hit that, I would love to go. I would love to be able to pin him that. But I did pin him in basic, so I guess yes and no. How long have you been a military wife? Well, we got married before my husband enlisted, so for 3.5 years I've been a military wife. Did you marry him before or after he joined? Okay, I married him before he joined, very shortly before, but we got married because he was joining. But I think there's a question later on where I'll be able to explain that a little bit more. 11, how did your husband propose? My husband went to the recruiter's office to get some information. He came back home and said, Cassie, we need to get married before I go down to Met's to sign the paperwork. And I said, okay. And he goes, I need you to call the courthouse and set a date because I leave for Met's next week. So that was the proposal. But I think on our second wedding anniversary, because we weren't together on our first wedding anniversary, he was away training. So on our second wedding anniversary, we were together here at Drum, and he made a scavenger hunt together, and he put together a scavenger hunt, and each clue was one of his favorite memories that we had together. And at the end, he ended up proposing and getting down on a knee and giving me a ring and all that, because when he originally proposed, we didn't even have rings. Like, we ended up going to Walmart and picking out rings like literally the day we went to the courthouse. So 13, 12, where did you get married? 12, we got married at the courthouse. Very military-esque thing. Pretty much everybody does it. 13, how old were you when the two of you got married? We were 18. Pretty young, but we've been together. Our third wedding anniversary is coming up. We have 2 beautiful children, and we're really, really happy. 14, did he wear his uniform on his wedding day? No, because we got married before he went to basic. 15, where are you and your spouse currently stationed? We're currently stationed in Fort Drum, New York. It's really, really funny because we actually had cousins out here when Joe was in basic training, and they hated it out here. They absolutely hated it. And I told Joe when he enlisted, I was like, I will follow you anywhere except Fort Drum. And lo and behold, that's where we ended up going. But we love it here. We are not, like, the winters don't bother us because he's from Michigan, I'm from Wisconsin. It's nothing new. And we live about 30 minutes from a snowboarding hill, so my husband goes snowboarding all the time. We love the nature, we love the snow, so we really like it here. The people are pretty crappy though, I'm not gonna lie. The locals hate us, but it is what it is. Do you live on base? Yes, we do. We've always lived on post. When we first got here, we lived in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and then because I got pregnant with Lakin and my husband had been promoted a couple of times, we were eligible for bigger, nicer housing. So after about a year here, when our lease was up on our first apartment, we moved to another house on base into a different neighborhood. But we love living on post. We would not change it one bit, especially with the amount of snow we get. It's really, really convenient. So love living on post. 17, how long were you married when you had to go through your first separation? We got married February 9th and Joe left for basic March 3rd. So we weren't even married for 30 days before he left. And he was gone for, we didn't actually get to Fort Drum and start living together until the end of August. So he was gone about 5 or 6 months. What is your favorite base so far? We've only lived on Fort Drum. This is our first duty station. But I've been to a couple other posts, and I think this one is my favorite. The lower enlisted housing where we live is not as nice as other places. I have some friends down in Fort Benning, and I've seen their houses, and they're beautiful. Like, beautiful. The houses here are pretty cheaply made. But I'm grateful I have a home to live in, and it's a lot nicer than some of the homes my friends live in. And both me and my husband came from very humble beginnings, so we're just grateful that the Army provides us a home, and it's very nice, very nice. Do you think your spouse looks good in his uniform? Obviously. Obviously. Do you think the military life is more advanced than civilian life? Yes. Advanced being, I guess it's how you want to take it. I think military life is more demanding. I think it's more, it just takes more from you as a human being. Civilian life, you don't really have anyone, I mean, like, you go to work and you come home and that's it. Like, your boss can't tell you what to do on your weekend or anything like that. Where, like, the Army, for lack of a better word, owns my husband. So what they say goes, and his time really isn't his as long as they have him under contract. So I do think it's a little bit more advanced. I think you have to be a special kind of person to live this life. 21. Do you like the benefits you receive as a military dependent? Yes, I of course like the benefits. I've gone to school 3 times while being out here. I like to keep busy. And I've been to school 3 times. I have 3 different certifications, all in the medical field, all paid for 100% by the Army. I have no school debt. And there are a bunch of different grants you qualify for as a wife, or even for children. You get daycare assistance and different things like that. So I love the benefits we do get. And I think more people need to be aware of what kind of benefits you do get, because I think you should use them. Why not? Oh, my kids ain't be wanting to take their naps today. I don't even remember what question I was on. Oh, military wife friends. No, I have one really good friend here, but her husband's contract is coming to an end. They're ETSing. They're getting out of the military. She is leaving right around Christmas time. She's not coming back. So because they're going through that ETS process and they're clearing and all that stuff, she's been really busy, so we don't really hang out as much anymore, understandably. But I want to choose my words carefully because I do not want to offend anybody. But all the military wives in my husband's, not even in my husband's unit, but the military wives that I've met through play dates and different things like that, because they host a bunch of different things like that here on Post, I haven't really gelled with. They're just not my kind of people. And that's not, I can see people getting really offended by that. They're just, we don't have the same interests. And up here, a lot of the people who have kids my kids' age are much, much older than me. Like almost my mom's age. So we just don't really have a lot to connect with, not a lot in common. What is the hardest part about the military life? The hardest part about military life is, I want to say the separations, but not for me personally. I'm a very independent person. I don't really necessarily need my husband in a day-to-day life to function. Like I said earlier, he left for basic when London was 4 months old, so pretty much my whole life of being a mom, I've kind of been like a single mom because Joe's unit is so time-consuming. Fort Drum is the only light infantry division in the entire US, like anywhere, so they deploy a lot. Light infantry, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically they ruck everywhere, they march everywhere, they carry all their own gear, so they're very cost effective to deploy. So we're also the most deployed post in the US because they're so cheap to deploy. They don't require like mechanics, vehicles, anything like that because they run everywhere. So their training schedule is crazy because they need to stay up to date. They have a lot of annual training events, so training cycles are crazy. So the separations for London specifically are really, really hard. So London knows when she sees Joe packing his ruck, getting everything ready, and when we drop him off at the training cloth or things like that, she knows Dad's leaving. She knows Dad's leaving for a long time, and then she acts out because he's gone. So that's the hardest part, is just watching her struggle, I think. Yeah, that's definitely the hardest part, I think. Do you own military wife stuff? No, I've never purchased it. I never will purchase it. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I don't like to shove the fact down people's throats that I'm a military wife. Quite honestly, it drives me bonkers. It really does. I don't see the need to purchase anything like that. I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff is really cute, but I don't feel the need to purchase anything like that. I do own a sweatshirt, like a Fort Drum sweatshirt, but that's it. Do you support your spouse as a member of the military? Of course. Of course. If I didn't, I wouldn't have married him. I wouldn't have signed myself up for this life. I think that's why I don't have a lot of military wife friends, is because a lot of them complain about very basic things that are military affiliated. Like, they complain about the separations. They complain about being here. I don't know how to describe it. If you're a military wife, you know what I mean. But it's just like, it drives me nuts, because it's like, did you not know what you signed up for? Like, when they sign a military contract, but you signed a marriage contract, so you're pretty much signing up for the military yourself. Like, we don't do any of the legwork. I'm not saying like, oh, you know, whatever, but as a military, like as a wife, your job is to support them, to encourage them. And if Joe came to me tomorrow and was like, Cassie, I want to re-enlist for another 3 years, 6 years, I'd say go for it. Like, of course, go for it. I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything as a wife to support him, because I know that this is just the season of life we're in right now, that my things are on the back burner for right now. I don't work. I've gone to school a lot while being out here because I like to keep busy, but they don't offer the courses I want to go through out here anywhere in my area, but they offer them at our community college back home. So I'm just waiting to go to school for that until we get back home. And I know once we're in that season of life, my husband will step up and support me in those areas of my life when I'm going to be needing that extra support. So I have no problem supporting him now as a wife. But I hope you guys enjoyed this second tag video. And if you're a military spouse, I'd love to hear you in the comments. Let's get to know each other a little bit better. Let's be Army wife friends. You can become my Army wife friend. I hope you guys liked this video, or if you liked this video, go ahead and like this video. Leave me some comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of my future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!